Hi there, this is Brett from GameByte, and today I'm talking to you about Dragon Ball FighterZ. But before I do, make sure you hit those like and subscribe buttons down below and knock on those notifications so you know when GameByte is posting.
Oh no! Not over! Are you ready?
Here goes. Beat it.
Dragon Ball FighterZ, for those that don't know, is the new fighting game from Bandai Namco based in the Dragon Ball universe. Now, if all those words I've just said seem very daunting, don't worry, because I'm going to talk to you about this in a way that hopefully breaks it down whilst I give you my first impressions with the game. I've spent about 2 hours playing it now and I've had a lot of fun with it, but the fact I've had a lot of fun with it is where I also want to make a point. You see, I'm not the biggest fighting game fan. I enjoy them, but I don't play a lot of them. And in terms of Dragon Ball, I've enjoyed the anime when I've watched it, but I've not watched it religiously, and there's a lot of story arcs that I have missed. But despite all this, I still found Dragon Ball FighterZ fascinating. For the most part, it is a 3v3 team fighting game, very similar to the likes of Marvel vs. Capcom. And much like Marvel vs. Capcom, the action is extremely fast paced, so you've got to make sure that you are hitting the right moves at the right time and blocking when you need to block. But there's also a lot of nice animations in there for situations where you both go for the same move at the same time, so you sort of just counter each other, and it looks really nice. But one important animation is the fact that it lets you have a breather in between getting a character knocked out. Now, for players that don't play a lot of fighting games, it's just nice to have that breather, especially when 3v3 fighting games can normally be very fast paced and very quickly see your team dismantled to zero.
Try this one! Are you ready?
Saw that one.
Are you ready for how it takes? Fight's not over!
Saw that one. Come on, 18.
You've got to be kidding!
It's easy enough to manage your team as you play along. You use the left shoulder buttons to change your characters, although you can remap it if you want. And each of them interact with their opponents in different ways. They'll have a piece of dialogue beforehand or a specific animation that they will only have if they're fighting that specific character when a match ends.
Go on. How are you so strong without going Super Saiyan?
It's a nice nod for fans of the series because it means that they're getting all the nostalgia whilst also playing a very good fighting game. And that's the main thing here. Dragon Ball FighterZ isn't just a nice bit of fan service, it is a very good fighting game. It feels really nice to play regardless of whether or not you're a newcomer to it, and it's very easy to pick up. It's so easy to pick up that it's a bit weird that the way that they've structured the story mode is to sort of hold your hand and take you through what is basically a glorified training for the most part. This is made more bizarre by the fact that there is actually training in there that just seems to be the scenarios from the story mode stripped down. But the story mode was never going to be the meat and potato of this sort of game, and unfortunately we don't have access to the online lobbies at the moment to try out how the battles are online. But from the 1v1s we've had, it's going to be extremely fun as long as the lag isn't terrible. Being able to come back from a 1v3 and actually win is as satisfying as you'd imagine it to be, and it does a great job in making you feel fantastic when you pull off a combo. And if you do string enough combos together, you get to unleash a Dragon Ball, which, you know, is great. You get to actually see the dragon that everyone loves and have a power. The powers for the most part seem a bit defensive focused, but it is definitely something that could help pull back a game if you are getting annihilated.
Now you have to deal with me.
Are you ready?
On top of the story mode and 1v1 kind of modes, you've also got the arcade mode where you take on various opponents to try and get the best overall rank. it was a lot of fun. I could see myself spending a lot more time playing that than I can see myself spending time playing the story mode. I think one of the main points from after I've played this for 2 hours is I definitely want to go back and play it. It's a fighting game that I could see myself spending a lot of time with, because it is just so easy to pick up and feel awesome. The moves just look really nice and they're not the most difficult to pull off, which works in its favour.
It's over. This is where I get to have some fun. What? Get out! Too slow! Too slow! KO! Destructive finish! You can't depend on mere calculations to understand the same. Vegeta! Win!
What do you think of Dragon Ball FighterZ? Are you planning to pick it up at some point, or have you already played it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons and knock those notifications on. But until next time, I've been Brett Claxon. You've been wonderful. Goodbye.